How's everyone doing? Who's that? Who's that in my chat already? Number one, my number one fan. Today, I'll just have a very quick little live stream. I won't be on here for too long, but talk about DNB, talk about travelling, talk about any questions to do with production, any questions to do with drum and bass in general, any questions to do with travel as well. Love talking about that. I actually, the reason I wanted to do this actually is because one of my patron supporters, DJ Ride, big ups to you, Ride, if you're there. He actually asked me a load of questions, so I'm going to answer them all because he was suggesting ideas for a video, but there's so many questions that I thought I'd just answer them all in one go on a little live stream. And then if anyone else is live as well at the same time, wants to ask any more random questions while I'm on here, then feel free. But yeah, I'm just waiting for this bloody Discord to load so I can get to these questions that Ride wrote in the Discord. And it's like every time you open Discord, it's got an update for about 4 hours. It's like 7 new versions you need to download. We have got a little beer today. It's a non-alcoholic one, but we have got a little beer. It's called Free Dam, which is very interesting. And this is actually quite a good one as far as alcohol-free beers go from foreign countries. Seems to be quite a internationally exported one. Are you guys able to chat as well? I think you should be able to chat, right? Start a poll. Oh, I've got 3 people. I'm famous. I'm pretty sure you guys can chat. I don't think anyone's wrote anything yet. Oh, Mark, hello, Mark. Oh, Mark, I'm sure you'll have some questions for me, Mark. I actually enjoy these Q&As more than making tutorials, to be honest. Maybe it's just easier. But it's just fun to connect with people. Even if I do get the odd silly sausage coming in every now and again, that's fine. I'm still loading up this bloody Discord. It says starting, and it's like been saying that for about 4 minutes now. At some point it will actually start, and then that'll be great. So I can get round to Ride's questions. I kind of remember his first one already. Oh, there you are, DJ Ride. I'm about to answer all of your questions that you wrote in the Discord. If you'll bear with me. I'm trying to load up the bloody questions that you wrote. But the Discord won't start up. It's going mental. It's just like spinning like an idiot. I think I remember the first question you asked me. I think the first question was how to always get a tight low end or something like that. So while this loads up, I'm going to answer that question because I'm pretty sure that was your first one. So tight low end. Oh, it's loading up now. I want to get your question right word for word, you see. So, all right, there it is, Discord. Bear with me, guys. This is very unprofessional, I know. All right, where are we? Suggest a tutorial? That was it. Oh yeah, so Ride's question number 1. How do you get a tight low end on any bass sound? Ah, okay. I like to, for that, I like to split the not split the frequency bands afterwards, but when you're designing the bass, think about which parts of the low end the bass is going to fill up. So I think a nice tight bass sound would have a really like obvious sine wave as the sub bass. Then it might have like a harmonic a bit higher up as like another sort of kind of sine wave, and then you might have some more general mid-range frequencies and obviously all your high end and stuff. But for the low part, I think you want quite a defined like kind of sine wave for the low for the sub, and then the next harmonic up, and then go up and go from there. And I think you want to have that clear those clear sort of three parts to it, like as you're designing it. So it won't all be like, it's not that the whole bass is just like flat and loud, you know. It's got like a number of like shapes to it for like the specific parts of the root note, you know. So like obviously if it's in E or whatever, you'd have your, well, your sub would be around 40, what is it, 42, 40 or 40 or something like that. Then you might have a little bit at 80, then you might have like a bit more up at 160 or wherever, like always on that E, you know? So I think the key to a nice tight low end is like having those like fundamental frequencies of that note like across the spectrum in slots in the low end, you know, rather than just like a big lump of like loads of bass noise. So that would be the best way I would advise to get a tighty low end. Yeah, that's my advice for that. And then obviously, you know, keep the real low end of it in mono. You know, you can always fix it afterwards with the mid-side EQ, but make sure like sort of below 100 is in mono. Just EQ out the sides, and then yeah, you can have some stereo as you go up, you know, sort of 100 and higher. You can start to have some stereo in there. But also, if you're going to chorus it and put stereo effects on it, reverbs and things, make sure that sort of, yeah, you're not going to overly chorus the low part either. Even the like the 100 hertz to 500 hertz area, the low mid range, don't go like, don't overly chorus it, because then you'll lose the tightness of the mono power. You want that mono power first, and you can layer in some chorus and reverb in there a little bit as well, but make sure that you've got the main part is mono and powerful, even in the 100 to 500 range, and don't try and layer in any other stuff. The more other stuff you try to layer in that area, the more you're going to take away from the tightness and the low end power. So yes. By the way, anyone else watching, we're doing Rides questions from the Discord first, and then I'm taking any questions regarding drum and bass in general, any questions regarding travel, any questions regarding production are fine too. Next question from Ryan says, if you were to make a brand new break beat never heard before, how would you go about it? Well, I've actually sort of started this already. Is recording a live drummer. That would be the best way for me. I would yeah, I would get a drummer, any drummer that I know, record them, maybe put some weird stuff on the drum kit, maybe put some like paper on the snare, I don't know, put some like weird things on the drums to make them sound a bit quirky, and then record them, smash the recording of the drums with a bunch of distortion, layer in a fat new kick sine wave underneath it all, and then bounce it out, layer it up with a really weird convolution reverb, and then and that'd be it. I'd get a live drummer to start it though, because I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours trying to program a live drum beat. I've not got the time. So employ someone. What do you spend most of your time on when making music, and why? That is a good question. There's quite a general one, but it's a good one, and it's not one that I've thought about too much before. What do I spend most of my time on when making music? I haven't even produced a track for a couple of months. I can't remember what it's like. I would say, what takes up the most time? A lot of time is choosing the next element, you know, choosing the next sample to fit in with everything. That's definitely taken up a bit of time, you know, because there's no point in rushing that process, because the older I get, the lazier I get. No, the older I get, the more I need every sound to just be perfect, you know. I don't want to have to polish stuff up as little as possible, really. So every sound that I add into the composition, I want it to definitely be adding something. So to be quite honest with you, a lot of the time spent while making music is looking for that sound that's going to fit best with it, you know. I'm not really gonna settle for anything. I'm not gonna settle for a hi-hat that doesn't make the cut. I'm not gonna settle for a top loop that doesn't make the cut. I'm not gonna settle for like a mediocre synth lead that I've found in a Arturia preset or something. I'm gonna really take the time to pick every element really carefully. So that would be probably the thing that takes the most time, is picking all the right elements. And then once you got like the good elements going, the actual process of writing the groove and writing the hooks and stuff can be quite quick sometimes. Some of the best tracks I've written, like Grey, for example, that was written in like 1 or 2 weeks, which is really quick for me. And that's like not every day either, but that just came through really quickly, like the whole arrangement, because I had great sounds to begin with. So yeah. The sample selection, the sound selection, picking the next best sound, that takes a lot of time for me to get it right. And then the final mix down and mastering, you know, I'll spend more time on that. So yeah, maybe the beginning part, getting all the sounds, takes quite a while. Then when I'm in the writing process, it tends to be fairly quick most of the time. And then at the end, when you're doing like your final EQing and group processing, and then your final mastering, that might take a bit longer than yeah, other stuff. All right. If you would use tape on your individual mix and master, and why? No, not on the master. No, I wouldn't use tape on the master. When you say tape, do you mean like tape emulation plugins or tape saturation or that kind of stuff? I think that stuff can be really cool to add a bit of realism and a bit of natural flavour into certain sounds, maybe into certain groups. I need a beer, by the way. Cheers, everyone, by the way. Oh, it's my last night here. I'm travelling on tomorrow, so that's why I wanted to do a little stream today. So yeah, would I use tape? No, not on the master. Maybe on the top group, the cymbal group, tape emulation. Yeah, maybe on a vocal. Maybe I use tape emulation on sounds which are a little bit unrealistic still, a little bit robotic. So certain hat loops that are too like monotone and boring, that's great for tape emulation. Maybe you've made like a synth lead or something and it's quite basic still. Maybe you want to jazz that up a bit, like fuck with the frequencies around that a little bit. Maybe then I might use tape emulation for that. Really, for shit that's like boring still, like the stuff where the harmonics need to be messed around with because they could be a bit unnatural then, but not on the whole mix. I want to do it only on those individual sounds that need a bit of that movement, you know, not on the whole mix. No. So yeah, tape, good for natural, making stuff a bit more realistic and natural, but don't need to do it on the whole master, because it'll probably mess up a bit with like it might mess up a bit with your low end of your kick and your sine wave a bit. So I wouldn't risk doing that. I want the kick and the sub to be like clean and unprocessed where possible. Yeah. There might be like 1 or 2 tape emulation plugins that don't mess up your low end, and then maybe you could do it. But I don't see the reason that you would have to do it on your master though. Okay. From listen from the birth of hardcore jungle. This is where we're getting into the kind of questions I want today, more like general questions about drum and bass. From the birth of hardcore jungle and drum and bass to the present of how it's evolved, where do you see the future of drum and bass? Whew, okay. Well, I think we're already in a very very modern era of drum and bass. When you think about some of the producers who, for example, Noisia really pushed the Imanu sound, and then you've got Bunshin and Skylark and Caracal Project, and a lot of people, those kind of ilk, who are really and Droleo or whatever his name is. A lot of people are really pushing the boundaries with what even is a snare drum. You know, it's just like the changing. They're making the drums really organic, and lots of like natural drum sounds that I really like, and yeah, like the synths that they're using now, and the vocal like aspects to the sounds are just like really, yeah, really different. It sometimes gets a bit like, I don't want to say poppy, but almost a bit, I don't know, it becomes a weird mix of like melancholic and but heavy at the same time, you know. So I think we're already in quite a weird era of drum and bass, but that's sort of one part of it that's sort of branched out to push the genre forward in that way. But then obviously you've still got people repping the classic DNB sound, and you've still got the sweaty 19-year-old UK ravers going crazy at every single foghorn. You know, that's still around too. So there's already so many different parts of drum and bass branching out, but I do feel like it's evolved so much in the last few years already. There's like so many new styles. So, but you do still have all the classic stuff. You know, if I was playing a rave, I'd still drop bare jungle tunes as well. I don't think that'll ever die. That's timeless. Those jungle tracks, you know. Um, but the future of drum and bass, I think we'll see. Um, to be honest, I think obviously AI is gonna play a big part of it. I think it's gonna become easier for anyone to make really modern, great sounding drum and bass. So I think it's gonna become easier for more people to get involved. So it's not gonna be so. It's not going to be so limited to like a few select people who are like at the forefront of it, you know. I think it's going to be like evolving and changing quite quickly with like who's like the next big thing. I think it's going to like just be constantly changing all the time, you know. um, it's definitely an interesting time. I really think that more than anything, the community aspect of music in drum and bass becomes very, very important, you know. So I think that, yeah, just having a great group of friends to enjoy drum and bass with, as always, that's always been the key, you know. But I think that's still gonna just be the most important thing, you know. Even if the genres change and the music changes, I think a lot of us will still just want to reminisce about the old days, you know, and that's great. We can do that. We can always do that. That's what we're doing now. Um, yeah, technology obviously changes the music as well. You know, people tend to write, although it's unfortunate, people will tend to write tracks to fit a trend so that they can try and get famous or pop off because they want the clout. So they will do the things that the technology is promoting, you know. So people will follow the Instagram trend or algorithm, and they'll follow the Spotify algorithm, you know. So people now write tracks for Spotify exposure. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just the way that the music industry has always been. It's that argument of people writing tracks to fit the technology. So, you know, back in the day when you had a vinyl or you were writing tracks for like tape or whatever, you were limited in some way as well. But now it's like, you know, what are people listening on? They're listening on Spotify or things like that, you know. So people are writing tracks for Spotify. So how is that going to change? I think Spotify is still going to be the key player for a while. I can't really see that something changing that. Um, if you want to get really deep, I think things will eventually move on to like more onto blockchain and crypto rails. So I don't know what's going to happen then. There's going to be like a metaverse of you can just go and hang out in a big rave like virtually and like sell your tickets on your digital wallet if you can't make it to someone else. Go and see Andy Seed in some random big rave in your living room. Um, and then we'll still just be listening to jungle tracks, but in a future universe. Yeah, great question. But yeah, the sounds at the moment, people are already pushing the boundaries every day, you know? So who knows what drum and bass will sound like in 10 years from now. But we'll be there to laugh at it. Here's a negative question. And sorry, I will see your other. What's up? I am Protoss. MPC 2000. You got a 2000 XL? Yeah. I'm sure the MPC has inspired a lot of the way that modern drum and bass sounds. I would say. Buy IB the 90 work still. Buy a vinyl. Xenopath says, what was the first? I'll get round to you in a minute, Xenopath. Let me just finish off Ride's questions because he's got 2 left here. Here's a negative question. What are your most annoying things you see in drum and bass production? What puts you off from purchasing a track? Okay, this might trigger some people, but I hate it when a track is just like, there's a bass here, then there's this synth here, and it's like this call and response thing, but they just sound like way different to each other, and it's just like, and there's nothing to like tie the two sounds together, you know. Luckily, I don't hear that so much, but that's one thing that annoys me when the kind of the sort of call and response sounds just like don't really fit, or they're just like just really dry and random. What puts me off from purchasing a track? I would only purchase a track that realistically, I'm only going to purchase a track that I would play in a live set. So something that's just not in the top 1%, basically. Yeah, I would only really. There are so many tracks out, you know. You've only got a limited amount of tracks you can play. So obviously, I'm going to just pick like the top 1% of what I consider to be the best tracks. You know, that's not necessarily the Beatport 1%, but. Yeah, annoying. Other annoying things I see, people that still use snare drums that sound like they're from like early 2000s without any layering or anything. That annoys me. People that still use like a Vengeance crash cymbal, like a really loud crash cymbal with no reverb, just like really sharp. I'm sorry if I trigger anyone here. What else really annoys me? I'm gonna say this is gonna probably trigger loads of people, but like using a random female vocal just for the sake of having a vocal in your track. I think it's just like, I don't know. There's so many like DNB tracks with just a random average female vocal in the intro, and it's like it's so difficult to tell them apart. So I think like if you're gonna use like vocals from Splice or things in your tune, I think you've got to do something really creative with them, you know, to make them stand out, because there's just so many like generic samples that could be anyone. So I think you can use those, but I think you got to try and put your own spin on it somehow, in like a really creative way, or actually work with a vocalist, write something that's like different, write some vocals that like fuck with you, write some lyrics that, you know, make you think about shit, you know, not just like random generic stuff. So yeah, just those really generic vocal lines just thrown in just for the sake of having a vocal in there, that annoys me a little bit. But yeah, those are some things. All right, last question from Ride. He says, if you had to swap your life with any animal, which one would it be and why? I've thought about this. Well, I think about it every day, but I think I'd probably be a cat in like some rich American kid's house or something like that. You know, just like some. Imagine some like rich American 16-year-old kid who's like his dad's bought him like a mansion like somewhere random in America, and he's just got like ridiculous loads of money and just like a massive pool, loads of cars, just throws parties all the time with their little red cups where they play beer pong in. I'd just be a cat that lives there, and I'd just like sit around while everyone else is hungover. I'll just be like just lying around in the sun next to the pool, just doing fuck all, and then just like going occasionally when I've got the energy, just like rolling over to the kitchen to eat a bunch of food, and then just go back out and lie in the sun again. Just a proper lazy cat that just does nothing. Yeah, that'd be my animal of choice. Um, Lazy cat in a rich man's house and get really fat and just do nothing. Soak up the rays. What was the first DNB tune that you heard that really made you realise that you want to produce DNB? Ah, I know that one. That one is easy. That's program by Noisier, and I think it's with the upbeats, isn't it? Program is Noisier and the upbeats. I would play music with you guys on this stream, but I'll probably get like a copyright strike, so I'm going to avoid that. But I think it was Noisier and the upbeats, wasn't it? Oh no, Face. Oh, my bad. My bad. Yeah, of course. Even better. Even better. Yeah, Noisier and Face program. That was a track when I fell in love with Neurofunk and I decided I want to be a Neurofunk producer. I've been toying around with DNB production before then for a couple of years, but it was always multi-genre, a bit of liquid, bit of dance floor. I didn't really know where I was. I was lost, but now I'm found in Neurofunk. The Redeemer. Yeah, it was program. That was like, it blew me away. The intro on that is so epic, and then the stabs, you know, that because you've got the obviously the bass doom 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 doom, and then you've got the little stabs doom doom. The tonality on those stabs, they're so off key. That is drum and bass for me. That those stabs on program are like, fuck you. We don't exist in your scale. We don't care what the note. We don't care on the root note of the track. This is our weird dissonant chord stab pitch. You can fuck off if you don't like it. These are the stabs that we're going to use. And yeah, so program just because of those stabs. Like, I was like, yes. I think that someone did a remix of that, didn't they? Can't remember if it was any good. Oh yeah, the Sleepnet remix. That's dope, actually. Yeah. But yeah, it was that very moment when I listened to Program, Noisier and Face that everything changed, and I became obsessed with making Neurofunk. And shortly after that, it was that Mephius came on the scene, and he was a massive inspiration for me as well. But yeah, Program was probably the beginning. Kerry, hello sir, how are you? How do you sequence a live set? Is there an arc or a story you're going for? That's great. That's a great question. Yeah, there is a bit. So these days, my ethos for picking a set list has changed over the years. What I do these days, if I have 50 or 60 songs in my set list, I will probably just pick my favourite 50 or 60 tunes that I can think of. So there might be some old ones in there. Mostly it's going to be new. Obviously I'm going to throw some of my own ones in there, maybe 15-20% of my own ones, and then the rest will be other drum and bass that I love. Most of it like within the same year of the show that I'm doing. A couple of old classics, but I'm just going to pick like just my favourite tracks, really, 50 or 60 of my favourite DNB tunes. And then I'm just going to find through some divine help a way to get them to bloody fit together. So there might be some random ass shit in there, and how am I gonna possibly mix them from one to the other so it doesn't sound like completely just like chopped here and this one here and this one here and this random one here and this random one here. So I'll have them in key, you know, so obviously mixing stuff in key so it's easier. If I've got a bunch of tracks in F, they'll probably stick them all together in F and then just hope for the best. With the story, there is a story arc. It's not like the story's from beginning to end. It's more throughout the set there will be like ups and downs. That's what I go for. So there'll be times when you get really heavy, aggressive neurofunk, and then there'll be times when it will go down and it might go a bit liquid for a moment. And then I like variation. That's what I go for. So pick my favorite songs, find some kind of way that they'll fit together, and then try and design in some variation in the energy. So it's a bit up and down. I don't like this, you know, one drop after another, wall of noise for 2 hours, make your ears bleed nonsense. So I need a bit of a storyline for sure. Hope that makes sense. But I'm not going to tell you like The Godfather Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3 through the music somehow. That's going to be too difficult. But yeah, just variation in the energy as it goes along, and my favourite songs, and hopefully they fit. I recorded a mix a while ago actually. I'm still waiting for this platform to publish it, and I hope they're going to bloody do it soon because it's been ages now since I recorded that one. Skit loads, stories, tongue face. Obviously, production is the main subject most of the time, but who is your favourite DJ and how have they influenced you in your live performances? Yeah, that's a good question. There are some really... Actually, you know, there's DJs that I've listened to on tape packs and I've never seen live, and then there's DJs I've seen live. So they're two different inspirations really. But when I, you know, was getting into DNB back in the days, it was obviously a lot of just listening to tape packs when I was a kid. So listening to tape packs as a kid, it would have been Andy C. Probably was the best. Early 2000s. In terms of actually like doing a whole set list of just bangers, you know. Probably would have been Andy C back in the day. But seeing live, I saw Marky, DJ Marky live in Bogota, Colombia last year. That was unbelievable. That was definitely inspirational because it was just like, people just love him, man. They love him so much. They just love him. And you can see why. He's just a legend. It's like still doing it. Still just like rocking the crowd. Playing all of his classic Marky stuff and then like switching it up into some brand new filthy shit as well. It's got a lot of respect to that guy, I would say. And obviously doing his mental scratching stuff as well, which I couldn't do if I tried. But yeah, Marky. Marky is definitely one of the best ones I've seen. Who else have I seen that's really, really great? Oh, that's a good question. I'll have to have a think about that. It's been a while since I've been out. Audio was wicked as well. Audio's wicked live. Although for me, it's a little bit too like full on neuro 100% of the time, but very, very talented. Who else? Yeah, I'll have to get back to that. Marky's the only one that springs to mind, who I saw most recently, who left an impact. We Enter, Friction, got the vinyl here. I do tracks only by the groove. We Enter, is that a Friction tune? I think that was I can't remember. Friction's written some bangers. Yes. Anyway, it's pretty late here actually. I probably won't stay on for much longer. Any final questions before I I just wanted to answer Ride's questions, pop on and say hi to you guys for a bit. I've got to pack as well because I'm leaving really early in the morning. It's actually already 11 and I've got to get up about 6 or something. Yeah, so what restaurant is a must-have if visiting London for the first time? And Monroe and Lens are your favourite. Lens, I saw Lens play. Yeah, Lens is great. Fade Black were pretty cool live as well. They were pretty sick. Yeah. Oh, it's been a while since I've been out. What restaurant is a must-have if visiting London for the first time? I'm not typically a London boy. I've never lived there, but if you're in the UK, definitely go for Indian food. I mean, yeah, and in London you'll find plenty. Go for a good Indian meal in London, definitely. We do Indian food better than the Indians do. Trust me. It's the one. It's the best food that you can get in England. Indian. It's divine. Yeah, it depends how much money you've got. You can go to the Ivy, but I don't think the Ivy is even that great. Yeah, I just look for any good recommendations for Indian restaurants. There's probably loads in London. Any 4-star Indian restaurant will be fine, I imagine. Yeah, you won't have a better Indian food anywhere else in Europe. It's the only back over Christmas. I had about 4 Indians in the space of 2 weeks. They are so good. They are so good. Don't know how. If you like spice, then you'll love them. If you don't like spice, there's plenty of other options that are still delicious. Yeah, enjoy it. I think I'll shoot off in a second. My G's. Just wanted to say hi. Hello, Anton. What's poppin'? Yeah. Any more questions? Travel, drum and bass, production, if you want. Yeah. Beer, food, sausage. My favourite Indian is a lamb madras. That's the one for me. Lamb madras. And sag paneer. Make sure you get the bloody sag paneer. You need the sag paneer, mate. The sag paneer will set you free. The sag paneer is the best. Get the whole thing together. If I'm going to rent a studio, would you recommend just sticking to Ableton plugins rather than my own if I can't bring my PC? If I'm going to rent a studio, would you recommend just sticking to Ableton plugins rather than my own if I can't bring my PC? I see. I kind of see what you're asking. Yeah, you can do mostly everything with Ableton plugins. I would say there's like, you can always just download the kilohertz and the free kilohertz bundle and the free Melder production bundle, and both of those packs will kit you out with most of what you don't have in Ableton that you still might need for free. So if you're on like a new computer that's not yours, you could probably quickly install the free kilohertz plugins and the free Melder ones, and then at least you've got like a free transient shaper, because the kilohertz one is the best that's on the internet and it's free, and you need a transient shaper if you're a producer. I don't know if you can probably produce without it, but nowhere near as good in my opinion. So get the kilohertz transient shaper downloaded once you're there, and yeah, get the Melder. You get a convolution reverb, so you can do some cool layering with that, which, because the Ableton one's not quite as great in my opinion. You don't really have like a volume like shaping plugin in Ableton either, I don't think, like the LFO tool, but you can do that also with the Melder tremolo. So you can like draw in your kick side chains with a volume shaper with the free Melder plugins as well. So I would say you've got that erosion in Ableton, which is wicked. The saturator is good as well. If you can split up the saturation into multiband mode in Ableton, that's even better. I think that's possible. I think also you can also get Wings Fire. That's free for some multiband saturation, and you can get Span for free. So just go on their computer and download Kilohertz, Melder, Wings Fire, and Span, and then you'll have everything pretty much that you'll need to write and finish a song, plus the Ableton plugins. So yeah, it'll be fine. You'll be fine. Xenobath, Sarg is great. Literally created to afford throwing out greens. Oh really? Was it to do that? Okay. Yeah. I mean, oh, it's just the best. It's a hot, sour lamb madras. I need it to be hot and sour and a bit painful. Sag paneer takes the edge off, you know? It's that smooth, creamy sidekick that just gives you a bit of a gives you a bit of relief from the hot curry. And then you need a lovely naan bread. You know, you need a nice garlic naan or a keema naan or Peshwari naan or whatever, you know, to dip the rest of your plate when you're finished with it, for Christ's sake. And get some garlic rice probably as well. KVR uninstaller. I don't know, what is that? Is that just so you can uninstall all of the Ableton plugins? Yeah. It's 11:15 at your place. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm actually in Georgia right now, the country, on the Black Sea. I'm travelling at the moment though. Ableton does have Shaper. Okay, does it? Does it have like a? Is it like? I don't think it. Does it? I've not seen a student use that before. With your, with your LFO tool, you can really easily draw like kick side chains in, or like to the grid, I don't know, can you do that with the Ableton Shaper? I don't think so. Ableton 12 has multiband saturation with RAW. Oh, there you go. Have you got the 12? Is it out now? I think that's a student of mine had a beta version of it, I think. A beta version of it. He was a beta male, so that's great. I would like to see what that sounds like, the multiband saturation with RAW. I'm sure that's probably quite good actually, because, by the way, I've got 20 people on here. Please go and follow my record label, Artificial Music, on Instagram and SoundCloud, if you don't mind. It would be very, very lovely. I'm sorry to ask. It's very annoying. I hate asking, but please go and do it for goodness sake. Thank you. Yeah, if you have a new multiband saturation plugin in the new Ableton, that's dope. I'm sure that will sound great as well, because from what I remember, the normal saturation that they have already in Ableton is wicked. It's just that I don't like people using the directly on, like, your drum bus or your bass group, because it will mess up the low end a bit sometimes. But if it's got a multiband now, then you can go crazy with that on your groups. Find that middle balance. I'm thinking 800 hertz. That's a good one usually, 800 hertz or so, and saturate all the highs and leave the rest clean. Thanks. I will have a safe trip. Yeah, I've got a long train journey tomorrow. Should be fun. Love Indian food. I'm making butter chicken and cranberry palau today. Palau? What's a palau? But that sounds wonderful. That's made me really hungry again. I've just been out for dinner and I'm hungry again. We should have called this the food channel, shouldn't we, really? Drum and bass and food. It's an Indian rice pilaf. Do you mean pilau? Pilau rice? Indian rice is pilau, isn't it? Anyway, yeah. Gotta love Indian food. I'd probably say it's my top. Probably put it up at number 1. Favourite foods. Tastes like home to me. Maybe Thai food's up there and Japanese as well. They're probably my top 3. Mexican maybe a close 4th. Yeah, I'd probably say Indian, then closely between Thai and Japanese. Maybe let's do maybe Indian number 1, then maybe Japanese number 2. Oh, it's a tough one between Thailand and Japan though, because the curries are so good, but they're so similar. But it's like Indian curries again. Oh, I don't know. But Japanese food as well is great. The ramen. Oh, I think maybe Thailand I like more actually. I think India number 1, Thailand number 2, Japan number 3. Then maybe Mexican number 4. Yeah. Then probably French. Yeah. Yeah, we need Digi in here to school us on food. That's right. Digipack's on the label, and in my Discord is a chef, and he's well, I've never tried his food, but I'm sure it's great. I'm flying out because a vocalist wants to make music with me. We are going to Hybrid Minds at Ali Pali, but I want to be able to bring something into the studio and have her sing on it. Yeah, great idea. Great idea. That's much better than using bloody Splice for your vocals, isn't it? Excellent. That sounds like a wicked trip, man. I hope you have a lot of fun. Yeah, get her to sing you some nice bars. Record as many takes as you can, remember? That would be my advice. If you can get her to sing it a few times, each line, and record it, then you can pan them left and right, you know? You can use the best one in the middle, take the 2 second bests, pan them left and right, and voila, you've got a lovely stereo vocal. Let me have one more beer with you guys, because I did actually get 2 beers, so I'll do one more beer and then 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna get packing. But yes, thanks for joining on anyway. It's been great already. I need to get some artificial music flyers and merch to promote the label at shows here. Yes. How was your show anyway, Xenopath? Because you went out to see Aphrodite, amongst some other legends, for a little reunion show in LA, wasn't it? Was it in LA? No. Yeah. In San Francisco, right? No. Yeah, in California. Wait, I'm confused. California. Is California San Francisco? It is, isn't it? Oh, mate. I'm so sorry. My geography of America is terrible. I've never actually been there. I need to come there. West Coast, anyway. Yeah, LA. Good. All right, I'm not gone crazy. Okay. Yeah, get some flyers and promote them around, for goodness sake. I need someone to design some merch, because I just don't have the skill to do it myself. Null says, exactly, why not start with something original, lol? I'm going to work on remixes in the meantime and take my time with it. Your tutorials have helped a lot. Welcome. Yeah, I told her takes and other random things. Excellent, man. Good stuff. Yeah. Look forward to seeing what you come up with. Keep the beat nice, or the beat or the melody or the chord progression, whatever, nice and simple. Let her like take it to the next level, and then pick some other sounds to go with her voice after she's recorded her voice in. Take those bits of her voice and make pads out of them, make effects out of them, use her voice for like all the instrumentation. Just like mess with it and make sounds with it. It's gonna be good. Accented singing and stuff, yeah. Yeah, LA was epic. Yeah, man, it looked like a sick event. I joined a group of DNB heads on WhatsApp of all places. We have a meet up to mix in a pirate studio for a few hours setup. Sick, man. Is that in London as well? It's the same person going to London, right? Yeah. Well, mate, you're gonna have a wicked time in London. You're gonna go to a pirate studio. You're gonna meet up with some D&B heads. You're gonna record a sexy female vocalist. You're gonna have a sexy Indian curry. What's not to look forward to? Where are you flying from? Where are you? Where are you normally living then? Xenopath says, I saw an old friend at the show who has been involved in D&B scene for almost 20 years. Also made some new friends while dancing my face off. Yes, mate. Oh, mate, we've got to have a dance together one day. That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be amazing, bro. Love to hang out with you at a rave. That'd be sick, man. That'll definitely beat playing chess on Zoom. Me and Paul's I think we've only done it once or twice, but we sometimes have a game of chess after our production lesson. Book 2 lessons and you get a free game of chess, in which I'll invariably lose because I'm pretty crap at it. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, well, you're also in Georgia then, but the other one, the one that people actually know about. I'm in the other Georgia that everyone's forgotten about. The old relic of a country where empires come to die. It's funny, I was out with a guy who lives here the other day and he was telling me about the history of Georgia and everything, and he's bought some property here. And I was like, we were talking, is it a safe investment here? You got Russia right on your doorstep. You got, geographically, there's conflicts all over the place here. And he was like, no, it's fine because the area is so mountainous. Any army that comes to the Georgian borders and the Caucasus Mountains, they see the mountains and they just go, nah, let's leave. The terrain here is just horrendous for anyone to invade. And it's also quite a tribal country, so it's like difficult to control, like Georgia. It's like difficult to control it. So it's like too much hassle to invade. So they just like, just take some money from them, solve little disputes with a bit of money peacefully, and stay away. So Georgia is a country still, very independent and probably not likely to be invaded. But yeah, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Bought a passport for this. Haha. Good, you got your passport, mate. Passport bros. Let's go. Get your Tinder passport as well. No, I'm just kidding. I met someone around here that is from London, and he has a friend that is an MC. So the night I get there, he's bringing me to backstage to Jungle. Sick, man. That sounds wicked. Show with DJ Hype and X-Man and TC and more. Well, there you go. Hype is the one. X-Man, I love it. I used to always love X-Man. Hype and Hazard are two of the guys I've really got to know drum and bass listening to. Used to watch Hazard play in a under-18s nightclub in Maidstone where I grew up. Can you believe that? Before he sort of blew up, he was the resident under-18s DJ at the disco that I used to go to. And there's DJ Hazard playing his bangers. There's me, like a 15-year-old little chav with his Nicholson t-shirt, listening to Hazard, trying to kiss girls on the dance floor. Yeah, those were the good days. You've got to come to LA for sure. You'll love it. Oh, bro, it's a matter of time. Falcon or Massive? Oh, Falcon, definitely. But I don't use either of them. I've got... my mate Chris Him, shout out to Chris Him, gave me Falcon. And it looks epic. It looks like a lot of work to get to know. It's one of those ones that's like... You need to sit down with your bong and just, I'm just kidding. You need to like really take some time to get to know that synth, and it's a very unique one. I actually used to use Zebra loads back in the day. That used to be my favourite before Serum came along. And then I didn't use Serum for that long until Vital came out, and then Vital took over. So Vital and Phase Plant for me. But I did use Massive back in the day, the original one. I didn't ever use the new one. But if I had to pick one of those, definitely Falcon. It looks epic. When you said you were in Georgia, I almost said, "Oh snap, I'm close." Yeah, and Pete, when you say Georgia, everyone thinks of the place that you are. That makes sense. You know, terrain is brutal when folks from frozen hellscape of Russia aren't even down to traverse it. That's right, mate. That's right. All the Russians around here, you know, they're just like, nah, leave them. Just leave them to it. I'm super excited. It's going to be an insane trip, even if I do half the things I've set up. There you go. There you go. Yeah. You probably won't be able to fit it all in. You'll probably be having too much fun doing the first thing, and then you'll forget about everything else. So how long are you going for? How long are you going to the UK for? And I suppose it's your first time, isn't it? Yeah, very entertaining live. I'm just putting my sock back on. Anyway, yeah, I've still got this beer, you know? Might as well finish this, so ask some more bloody questions. And I'll talk more nonsense for a little bit longer. I get there on a Friday morning, then stay until the second Monday after, so 2 full weekends. Ooh, okay. Second weekend, I see Camo Crooked with Emmanuel Lens. Wow. Wow, that's going to be a good show. That is going to be a good show, isn't it? Who are you more excited to see then? Camo Crooked, Emmanuel Lens? For me, it would be a close one between Camo Crooked and Emmanuel. I'm just trying to think if I've ever seen either of those. Oh no, have I seen him? Yeah, I've seen Emmanuel. I've played. I've seen Emmanuel play. I've not seen. I don't think I've ever seen Cameron Crooked play. Hopefully on Easter Sunday I'll see Congo Natty. Ooh, have I seen Congo Natty? I don't. Maybe. Love him, mate. All of those people sound great to see live. You're involved in a lot of different aspects of music. If you could, this is going to be a good one. You're involved in a lot of different aspects of music. If you could focus on just one part, what would it be and why? Or do you like the variety of teaching, producing, mastering, label, etc.? I love the variety. Yeah, I do. I do love the variety. If I had to pick one, it would be producing, definitely. Making my own music, 100%. But yeah, I like to, I don't know, I love the whole thing. I love the whole community, the whole aspect of it. I like to help others out with their production. I like to help by mastering people's tracks. Obviously I get paid for it, but it's great to when people are happy with it, then it's really good for me as well. You know, it makes me happy to give someone else's track like a bit of an extra push that it needs. The label is the best thing really for me right now because it's just a great way to start the next stage of my journey from being a teacher to setting up a label. It's a natural progression, you know, teaching people, getting them up to a level, and then building a platform to bring the students together as well, you know, so that's more of a community thing. I think, you know, half of the producers on my label have been students in the past, so yeah, just building a little crew, that's great, because then, you know, producing on your own is, it's not quite as nice as having a crew of people to make music together with. But if I had to pick one, it would be producing, of course. wait, what's... I love Lens as a DJ. For production, I love Cameron Crooked, but I saw them at Jungle Bells, not Jingle Bells, in December. So I'm most excited for Imanu since he'll probably not come to USA often. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will come to USA often. He's very world famous, and USA, I imagine, pays good money. I would definitely imagine that he would be there, and he has been there, and I'm sure he would go there again. But yeah, I would be excited to see Imanu, definitely. He's a very talented boy. If you didn't use Logic, what DAW would you use? I'd probably use Bitwig. Yeah, bit of a random one. I've seen people use it. I've never tried it, but yeah, one of my long-term students, Malcolm, he used it, and it looks cool. It looks like not too different to Logic, and it looks like it's got some cool extra features that Logic doesn't, and the plugins seem pretty cool, and it's got some cool features that you can do really random routing stuff that looks pretty advanced. And if I was starting all over again, I'd probably use that, because I've tried Ableton. I just can't really get my head, I understand how it works, and I see people, I teach people on it every day, but when I sit down to use it, I'm just like, can't do it. So wouldn't be Ableton. It would be probably Bitwig. I used FL back in the day. I wouldn't go back to it because I prefer to EQ with analyzers, not EQ blindfolded. Yeah. All jokes aside, all softwares are great, but I'm a Logic boy through and through. I would cry if I couldn't use Logic anymore. I'd probably quit. Bitwig probably though. I'm probably equally excited for Lens and Imanu because she is my favourite DJ. Yeah, I did see her once in Berlin, and she had a lot of energy. It was very good. I don't like to prefer a synth, but the audio. Oh, yeah. Well, I think I know what you're saying. I mean, the audio is what matters, not what synth you use. Throughout the week, I'm gonna just hope to find random DNB related things to do. Everything DNB related. Like going to get a drum and bass sandwich at the newsagents. I'll check out some record stores with open decks and stuff like that. Yeah, man. There's loads of DNB related things to do in London. There's probably a tour, DNB tour of London. Really try to go to Bristol. Yeah, I think Bristol is almost the best city for drum and bass in England. I've heard. Yeah, London is obviously, Bristol is probably more concentrated for drum and bass enthusiasts, because London is obviously a bit bigger and yeah, more widespread. Where is the teacher for this? Point. Not sure what you mean. I didn't know he had been here before, but I just got into DNB like a year ago. Oh, right. Well, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family of drum and bass nutters. We're happy to have you. We hope you enjoy your stay. Please drink responsibly, and yeah, just go mental on the dance floor. Say I and then spell cup. ICUP. You're funny. How old are you? Logic, baby. So many from the future. All City DNB. I listened to Pendulum and Prodigy in the 2000s, but I didn't know it was DNB. I was mostly a metalhead. Well, drum and bass is the metal of the electronic music family, so you've just traversed into the metaverse, and now you're in the... Yeah, there's a lot of parallels between metal and drum and bass, I would say. So it makes sense. Both very aggressive, rebellious music. Yeah, Prodigy, they might have a drum and bass track or two, but they would probably be categorized as like breakbeat or breaks or something like that more than drum and bass, because the tempo is a bit lower. But pendulum, you can definitely class them as drum and bass if you want to get gender specific with your roles. Genre specific, I should say. Are you going to play some music or what? No, because I will get a copyright strike, and then I'll get all the Google team will be ringing up my phone and be like, why did you play that bloody song? You were doing so well, and then you had to go and play Britney Spears' Toxic, and then we flagged your video. It's like, why didn't you were so close to the end, and you had to play Britney Spears, and then we got you. I know I can't really play music on this live stream, but do you want me to do a production live stream? Is that what I should do next time? Are you tired of looking at my ugly face and you want some music? I understand. I will do a production live stream in the next 2 weeks, promise. I'll do a producer live stream. I'm waiting to get back to my other mouse, because the mouse I've got at the moment is not very good for my wrist, and I can't really produce for long periods. So, but I'll do it. I haven't done one for ages, have I? I used to do producing live streams. That feels like years ago. I haven't done one of those for ages. All right, I'm gonna do a production live stream in the next 2 weeks. Stay tuned. I'll be back for that, definitely, because this is a bit pointless, isn't it? Just me talking to you like this. Just me answering your silly questions. A lot of tech metal bands I listened to had breaks and DNB breakdowns. I just didn't know what they were. Lol. Yes. I know what you mean. But there was already a part of you that knew, wasn't there? There was a part in the back of your brain that thought, there's something in this for me. But you've got there anyway. Ha, I don't care. Do the griddy. I'm from Wikipedia. It says do the griddy. What's the griddy? Is that the griddy? No, that was terrible. Sorry, that was really cringe. The Mephius and Camo and Crooked remix of Breathe by Prodigy is so... Well, there you go. Xenopath has hit the nail on the head. The, Breathe remix is dope. Only problem was, when that came out, every DJ played it in every set on the same night. And I wanted to play it. That was really the problem, is I wanted to be the one to play it, but everyone else had already played it. So that was the only problem with that track. Do you DJ? Yes, I'm able to DJ. What feck use? Oh. What feck use? What feck use? Also, growing up with video games, lots of jungle soundtracks. That's right. Can you name any? Which video games had jungle soundtracks? I need to think back. It definitely would have been a couple. Crash Bandicoot. That was quite jungly. Need to see their moves. Yeah, well, I'm not a dancing monkey, to be honest with you, mate. But nice try. If there was some music on, I might have a boogie, but not to the sound of my refrigerator humming. That's not very inspiring. If you want me to do some TikTok dancing, that's fine. I'll do that tomorrow. Salaam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Sorry, I'd read that very wrong. Ape Escape Donkey Kong. There you go. EQ on bands. Yeah, man. Lots of cartoons had jungle, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, etc. Oh, well, there you go. All right then, my guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit tired. I should probably get off live stream before I say something stupid. As I said, this has just been a random one today. I've actually got a pack because I've got to be up at 6 in the morning and leave. And just great to say hi to you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. What EQ do you use on the high frequencies? I use the same EQ on everything. I mean, the channel EQ in Logic. The Lufticus is a good one for high boost, bit of air in your high end. The Lufticus is free That's a good one for high-end boosting. Enjoy your packing, my G. See you later, brother. Thank you. I will. Fortunately, I don't have much to pack, but it will take me at least 20 minutes or half an hour, so I better get started. I'll see you guys soon. I will promise to do some more interesting live streams next time with music and everything and production. But yes, just wanted to chat with you guys for a bit today. Love you guys all. Have a great weekend. Stay creative. Stay productive. Peace out. Much love. Ciao, ciao.